the young and the restless spoilers. The Newman estate, usually a bastion of luxury and elegance, was now filled with tension and unease. Katie Newman, Victoria's spirited young daughter, had taken a vehement dislike to her older sister, Claire. What began as sibling rivalry had escalated into a full-blown conflict, threatening to disrupt the family's fragile peace. Katie's antagonism towards Claire was relentless. She spared no opportunity to criticize and belittle her sister, accusing her of being useless and unworthy of the Newman name. This constant barrage of hostility left Claire oscillating between sadness and seething anger. Though the reasons behind Katie's animosity were unclear, the impact on the family was undeniable. Victoria, caught in the crossfire, was determined to understand and resolve the rift between her daughters. She approached Katie gently, hoping to uncover the root of her resentment. "Katie," she asked softly, "why do you feel this way about your sister? What has she done to deserve such harsh treatment?" Katie's response was defiant silence, her eyes burning with an intensity that belied her years. Victoria sighed, realizing that this battle would not be easily won. Her heart ached at the thought of her daughters hating each other, and she resolved to find a way to mend their broken relationship. Meanwhile, Claire endured Katie's vitriol with a quiet strength, aware that any retaliation could have severe consequences. The Newman family, especially Victor, adored Katie, and any harm to her would not be taken lightly. Claire knew that she had to tread carefully, lest she incur their wrath. Summer break was a temporary reprieve, and Claire hoped that once Katie returned to school, the animosity would subside. But patience has its limits. Each insult from Katie chipped away at Claire's composure. "Why are you even here?" Katie would sneer. "You're nothing but a burden to this family." The words stung, but Claire bit her tongue, knowing that any reaction could escalate the situation. Victoria, desperate for a resolution, sought advice from trusted friends and family members. Nikki, her mother, suggested a family therapist, while Nick, her brother, recommended spending quality time together to rebuild the sisterly bond. Victoria decided to try both approaches, hoping that a combination of professional guidance and familial love would heal the wounds. Despite her best efforts, Katie's behavior showed no signs of improvement. Every family gathering turned into a battleground, with Katie's sharp words slicing through any semblance of peace. Claire's restraint was remarkable, but even the strongest fortresses have their breaking points. One particularly heated evening, Katie's relentless taunting pushed Claire to the edge. "You think you're so perfect, Claire," Katie spat, her voice dripping with venom. "But you're just a nobody trying to fit into a family that doesn't need you." Claire's patience finally snapped. "Enough, Katie," she shouted, her voice echoing through the room. "I've done nothing to deserve this treatment, and you know it. Your hatred is baseless and cruel." The room fell silent, the air thick with tension. Katie's eyes widened in shock at Claire's outburst, but she quickly regained her composure, a smug smile playing on her lips. "Looks like the saint finally has a temper," she mocked. Victoria intervened, her voice firm but gentle. "Katie, that's enough. We need to talk about this as a family, not as adversaries. This hatred is tearing us apart." Katie stormed out of the room, leaving Victoria and Claire in a somber silence. Victoria approached Claire, her eyes filled with sorrow. "I'm so sorry, Claire. I don't know why Katie is acting this way, but we will find a solution. You deserve to be here, and you deserve to be happy." Claire nodded, her resolve strengthening. "I know, Victoria. I'll keep trying, for the sake of the family." Days turned into weeks, and despite Victoria's efforts, the hostility between Katie and Claire showed no signs of abating. Victoria's concern grew, especially with the looming threat of Victor's intervention. She knew that if Claire were to retaliate against Katie, the consequences could be dire. Victor's protective nature towards his granddaughter meant that any harm to Katie would be met with severe repercussions. One evening, as Claire sat alone in her room, contemplating her next move, she heard a knock on her door. It was Victor, his expression unreadable. "May I come in?" he asked. Claire nodded, bracing herself for the conversation she had been dreading. Victor took a seat across from her, his piercing eyes studying her intently. "I've heard about the issues between you and Katie," he began. I need to know your side of the story. Claire took a deep breath, recounting the months of abuse she had endured at Katie's hands. Victor listened silently, his expression hardening with each detail.